pretty lucky right now.
44 laps complete this time by. Let's check with Steve.
Mike, just listened to Tony Stewart, and he told Darian Grubb, he said, I've got a vibration. The gauges all look okay, but it feels like a harmonic vibration.
We've just heard that a lot down here the last couple of days. Cars will pick up a vibration on it. Maybe it's, what do you think it is, Larry?
Well, Darrell, we've heard these guys talk about how they've worked so hard to get everything running free in the drive line, and you just wonder if that might be promoting this vibration through the drive line.
Yeah, that, or sometimes the headers, you know, the tailpipes. Engine will go through a certain range, and sometimes it'll make the car vibrate a little bit in the driver's seat anyway.
Hey, what, we got those Roush Fenway cars ganging up on the high side. Matt Kenseth in that 17, Carl Edwards in the 99, and McMurray in the 26.
Well, they have 5 cars. Roush had 5 cars in the race. I figured if we're going to see teamwork, now's when we're going to start to see it.
Michael Waltrip's taking his car to the garage as Dale Earnhardt Jr. tries to hold off the Roushketeers coming at him on the high side.
Yeah, he has lost his pusher, Jeff Gordon, in the 24. He's fallen back to about 8th.
A little car that's hanging in there pretty well, too, is a Toyota Brian Vickers. He's got a good little run going.
Little tape on the nose of Jeff Gordon's car. That was because of the bump he had with Greg Biffle.
Yeah, maybe, or, you know, they were working on the front of that car trying to get a little bit more downforce. They could have taped up something under there or maybe added a little bit of tape.
Darrell, they're starting to gang up on Denny Hamlin in this 11 car. You can see him on the bottom right there, and you just wonder now, is this a product of those almost 25 lap tires that he has on there?
Oh, I definitely think so, Larry. And I think Jeff Hammond hit it on the nail on the head when he said, there's a crew chief, hoping they get another caution.
Hamlin is back to 12th. Kyle Busch to 6th after restarting 1-2. Jimmy Johnson right in the middle of things, Matt.
Chad Knaus used the last caution, Mike, to utilize a chance to fix a broken brace on the front splitter. Jimmy also commented the car is very drivable. His biggest issue, he has to have someone push him to work his way to the front.
I know somebody, the 24.
His teammate, Jeff Gordon.
He said he was a good pusher.
There they are, lined up behind Brian Vickers. Now, right behind Jeff Gordon is Kurt Busch. Steve?
Mike, he's one of the few guys I've heard tonight say, wow, this baby is handling. He is fighting back from a pit road mishap. They had a lug nut fall off the left rear wheel, but he is liking that race car tonight.
Busch in the Blue Deuce, runner-up in last year's Daytona 500 to his then teammate Ryan Newman.
He was one of the few guys that I heard in those 2 practices yesterday afternoon and last night that was happy. But yeah, he's definitely working his way back after that problem he had on lap 33.
Probably the restrictor plate races are some of their strongest races for the 2-car and for the Penske operation. Whoa, Vickers got a little shove there. Ah, man.
That was a toss and catch it for the 83.
She was pogoing on him.
Now, Steve Burns just talked about Kurt Busch in that 2 car. Went to the high side of Jeff Gordon. They've got Jeff trapped in the middle.
Boy, sometimes that middle is so helpless sometimes. They're going by you on both sides, and there's nothing you can do about it. Try to squeeze in, but you know you got to be really careful. Like right there, you'd like to be able to push over in front of the 9, but you just can't quite make it.
This will send Gordon back into the second 10 of the 20 cars in this draft.
Here, those guys just really get out of the throttle.
Riding with Bobby Labonte there.
And that becomes part of the art of a restrictor plate car and restrictor plate racing, is how to work that throttle. Keep the momentum up, but get the car to where it'll stay down on the bottom of the racetrack like you want it to.
Matt Kenseth for the lead.
With help from his Roush Fenway teammates, they're lined up 1, 2, 3.
Boy, look at that.
Buddy's inside. Just hold your line here. Jamie's back with you now. You 3 up top. They got a line on the bottom.
You three up top, you teammates, the rest of the field down low.
Another guy's creeped back in their area is the 14 car, Tony Stewart. All of a sudden, he's got his nose stuck in there again.
We talked about Denny Hamlin starting to fade in that 11 car, but his other teammate, Kyle Busch, that 18, out there with no fresh tires, he just will not give up.
Kyle Busch up to second behind Dale Jr.
He likes a bad handling car. As a matter of fact, I think he'd get mad if it handled really good. He wouldn't have anything to do.
Now 25 down in this segment, 25 to go.
You know that old saying that the cream seems to always rise to the top? Would you not say that the cream is rising?
Oh, very nicely.
I believe it's there.
Led by Dale Earnhardt Jr., a two-time winner of this race. Kyle Busch making his third appearance. Never finished better than 7th. That 18 cars.
Push the 48 on the bottom behind the 18. 14.
Right now with Tony Stewart third.
You better not be loose in when you get one of those big pushes from behind like Tony just got, because you won't be able to catch it if you do.
And what's happened with the outside line? That's not working as well as we thought it might a little later on here.
I think they're able to keep fresh enough tires on the car that they can run the bottom, plus the temperature being as cool as it is. I think there's enough grip down there that the cars are able to stick pretty well. Normally that high groove is an out of control, loose, can't hang on to it groove.
And if you remember riding with Jimmy Johnson, we hered him and Chad Knaus talking right after the break about you want to keep it on the bottom.